Hi guys, so this is like my compilation for the hardest GCSE questions that I came across in November 2022 paper 3 for higher and foundation. These might not be difficult for some, but might be for others. So I tried my best to include every single question that I thought was a bit confusing to understand. If you think there's some other question that should have been mentioned, do let me know in the comments below. I'll help you out in trying to solve that question. Question 23 says 200 students choose one language to study. Each student choose one language from French or Spanish or German. Of the 200 students, 90 are boys and the rest of the students are girls. 70 chose Spanish. 60 to 104 students who chose French are boys. 18 girls chose German. Work out how many boys chose Spanish. So let's start with like categorizing each. So we have 200 students, of which 70 chose Spanish and 90 are boys. So if boys are 90, that means girls are going to be 200 minus 90, which is 110. Now 60 of the 104 students who chose French are boys. So boys who chose French are 60, which means girls who chose French are going to be 104 minus 60, which is basically 44. Now, next what we have is 18 girls chose German. So if 18 girls chose German and we have the number of French, so for girls, Spanish would be 110 minus 44 minus 18. That's going to give us 48. So 48 girls chose Spanish. So to find how many boys chose Spanish, boys, Spanish, we will do 70 because 7 people chose Spanish. So 70 minus 48, that's going to be 22. So 22 boys chose Spanish. That is your answer. Question 24 says, Karina has 4 tanks on the tractor. Each tank is a cylinder with diameter 80 centimeters in length and height 160 centimeters. The 4 tanks are to be filled completely with a mixture of fertilizer and water. The fertilizer has to be mixed with water in the ratio 1:100 by volume. Karina has 32 liters of fertilizer. 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeters. Has Karina enough fertilizer for the 4 tanks? So you must show your work. So first, let's begin with finding the volume of the tank. Since this is a cylinder, the volume of a cylinder is pi r square h. Diameter is 80. So radius is going to be half of the diameter, which is 40 centimeters. So we'll do pi times 40 square times the height, which is 160. And that's going to give us 804,247.72 centimeter cube. Now they said that the ratio in which the fertilizer is mixed with water is 1:100. Okay. So if we're mixing 32 liters of fertilizer is to water, 1:100. So if there are 32 liters of fertilizer, that means we have 3,200 liters of water. So to understand what's going to be the volume of 4 tanks now, we're going to multiply this quantity by 4. So volume of 4 tanks is going to be 4 times 804,247.72. And that's going to give us 3216990.8 centimeter cube. This is the volume of 4 tanks. So now to figure out if she has enough fertilizer for 4 tanks, I'm going to go back to this ratio and convert this in centimeter cube. Before we convert this into centimeter cube, I'm going to add the fertilizer and water because that's what the mixture is made of. So 32 plus 3200, which is 3232 liters. Since 1 liter is 1000 centimeter cube, so to convert this in centimeter cube, we will do 3232 times 1000, which is going to be this. Now, if we compare these two quantities, this with this, we can see that she has enough fertilizer. So the volume of the tanks is way, not way lower, but like slightly lower than the volume of the fertilizer. So she can easily fill up the tanks. So, yes. Next question says that there are 30 women and 20 men at a gym. The mean height of all 50 people is 167.6 centimeters, and the mean height of the 20 men is 182 centimeters. Work out the mean height of the 30 women. So what we will do is that first we'll find the sum of height of the 20 men. Sum of height of men is going to be sum divided by 20 equals to the mean, which is 167, which is 182 centimeters. So cross multiply to get the height. Cross multiply to get the sum of height of men. So 182 times 20, and that's going to be 3640 centimeters. Now we know that mean of all the 50 people is 167.6. So sum of height of women plus men, which is 3640, divided by the total number of people, which is 50, equals to the mean, which is 167.6. So for sum of height of women, we will do 167.6 times 50 minus 3640. That's going to give us 4740 centimeters. So to find the mean height, we will divide this by the number of women, which is 30. So that's going to give us 158 centimeter. That is your final answer. So this question says that simplify 3x to the power 5 times y to the power 6 whole power 4. So whenever you have a power outside the bracket and inside the bracket, what we do is we multiply those powers. And if there's like a coefficient inside the bracket as well, we distribute the power on the coefficient as well. So what we'll do is we'll rewrite this as 3 to the power 4 times x to the power of 5 whole power 4 times y to the power of 6 whole power 4. 3 to the power 4 is 81. X to the power of 5 whole power 4 is going to be x to the power of 20. And this will be y to the power of 24. Like I said, we multiply the powers. So it's going to be 81 times x to the power of 20 times y to the power of 24. That is your answer. Expand and simplify. So this is the expansion now for triple bracket. So let's start with the first two brackets first. So we'll do x plus 2 times x minus 3, which is going to be x times x times negative 3, 2 times x, and 2 times negative 3. And that's going to be x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6. And this entire thing is getting multiplied by x plus 4. Let's collect the like terms in the first bracket. So that's x squared minus x minus 6 times x plus 4. Now we multiply x plus 4 with all the terms in the first bracket. So it's going to be basically, like this. And this is going to be like this. So that's going to be x cubed minus x squared minus 6x plus 4x squared minus 4x minus 24. That's going to be x cubed plus 3x squared minus 10x minus 24. That is your answer. In question 16, it says ABD is a cyclic quadrilateral. ABC and EDC are straight lines. Angle DBC is given as 60. Given that the size of angle EAB is to size of angle BCD is 2:1. Work out the size of the angle BCD. You must show all your working. BCD is this angle. That's what we have to find. So first, let's start with finding this angle. That's going to be angle B, angle ABD. That's going to be 180 minus 60, which is 120 degrees. So if you notice, we have a cyclic quadrilateral over here, because all four vertices are touching the circumference of the circle. So whenever we have a cyclic quadrilateral, opposite angles add up to 180, which means this would be 60 as well. So angle AED is 180 minus 120, which is 60. Now it says the size of angle EAB is to size of angle BCD is 2:1. So EAB, if that is, let's say 2x, BCD is x. And now if we notice, we have a triangle over here. Triangle ACE. So you know sum of angles of a triangle is 180. So 180 equals to 60 plus 2x plus x. 180 minus 60 equals to 3x, which is 120. And if you divide 120 by 3, that's going to give us 40 degrees. That is your answer. Look at question number 26. It says we have a regular heptagon and the area of the triangle ABG is 30 centimeters square. Calculate the length of GB, giving the answer correct to 3 significant figures. So first, we need to find the interior angle of the heptagon. So the heptagon is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. So interior angle has the formula of n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. So that's going to be 7 minus 2 times 180 over 7, which will give us 128.57. So this is our interior angle. They've given the area of the triangle ABG, which is 30. So we use the formula area equals to 1 over 2 AB sine of angle C. Sine of angle C is going to be sine of 128.57. And since it's a regular heptagon, so all lengths are going to be equal. So 30 equals to 1 over 2 times x, if we call this x, times sine of 128.57. So 30 times 2 divided by sine of 128.57 equals to x squared. Then we will take the square root of 76.74. and that's 8.76 centimeters. That is the value of x. So now to find the length of GB, as you can see, we have two lengths in the angle between it, and it's a non-right angle triangle. So we can easily use the cosine rule to find GB. So that's going to be GB squared equals to 8.76 squared plus 8.76 squared minus 2 times 8.76 times 8.76 times cos of 128.57. So that's going to give us 249.16, and then we square root both sides, and GB will equal 15.8 centimeters. That is your answer. For question 17, it says there are 4 boxes on a shelf, A, B, C, and D. The total weight of A and B is 3 times the total weight of C and D. So if C plus D is X, A plus B is 3X. Now the weight of A is 2/3 of the weight of B. So A is 2/3 of B. So we can even rewrite this as A over B equals to 2 over 3, which shows that the ratio of A is to B is 2:3. Similarly, weight of C is 75% of D. So 75% is basically 3/4. That's 3/4 of D. And if we rewrite this as C over D, that equals to 3 over 4. So C is to D is 3:4. Now A is to B has total of 5 parts, and C is to D has total of 7 parts. So first, to make the parts equal first, I'm going to multiply these two by 7 and these two by 5. So that's going to be 14 is to 21, 15 is to 20. Now, as we said earlier, that the sum of A and B is 3 times that of C and D. So over here, since the sum is twice of C and D, we multiply the ratio of A and B by 3 again. So that's going to be 42 is to 63, and 15 is to 20 remains as it is. So it said that find the weight of A is to B is to C is to D. So that's going to be 42 is to 63 is to 15 is to 20. That is your answer. Question 21 says the equation of a curve is y equals to 4x squared minus 56x. The curve has one turning point. By completing the square, show that the coordinates of the turning point are 7 and negative 196. So we have y equals to 4x squared minus 56x. So quadratic equation comes in the format of y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. We are trying to figure out how we can turn this into y equals to x minus h whole square plus k. That's the completing square form. So first, we're going to take the coefficient of x squared common. That's going to be 4 times x squared minus 14x. Next, what we're going to do is focus on this part of the equation. So we need to turn this into a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and then further turn it into a plus b whole square. So if we compare this, x squared minus 14x, and we don't know what b squared is. So a is x, 2ab is equal to 14x. So 2xb equals to 14x. So b is going to be 7, which means what we'll do is, in this equation, we're going to add our b square, so negative 14x plus 7 square, and I'm going to minus 7 square as well. The reason why I'm doing minus 7 square as well is because, like, whenever we have a new term being introduced in a mathematical equation, you have to, like, make sure you do the opposite thing as well as to what you're doing with the new term. So in this case, since we're adding 7 square, we subtract 7 square as well. If we were multiplying 7 square, we would divide 7 square as well. So since 7 square is a new term being added, we do minus 7 square as well. So that's going to be y equals to 4 times. Now x square minus 14x plus 7 square is going to be a separate thing. I'm going to rewrite that as a minus b whole square. Let's write that as a minus b. So that's going to be x, because a is x and b is 7, minus 7 whole square. And this negative 7 square is going to be outside as negative 49. It's not going to be a part of a minus b whole square. It's going to be outside. Because as you can see over here, there's only plus b square, not minus b square. So now we multiply the 4 with both the terms. So 4 times x minus 7 whole square. And 4 times 49 is going to be 196. So as you can see, this is your x coordinate of the turning point, and this is your y coordinate. So 7 and negative 196 is your turning point. And that is your answer. Next question says the graph of y equals to f of x is shown on the grid below. On the grid above, sketch the graph of y equals to f of x plus 2. So for f of x plus 2, we will move the graph 2 units to the left, not the right, to the left. I know it says plus 2, but like when you're doing the horizontal translation, it's the opposite. If something is being added to x, we move it to the left side. If something is being subtracted from x, we move it to the right side. So when you move 2 units to the left, 2 will become 0. 1 will become negative 1. And this 0 becomes negative 2. So what we're going to have is, this is something like negative 1. It's going to be like this. That is your graph. Then it says on this grid, graph A has been reflected to give graph B. The equation of A is y equals to g of x. Write down the equation of graph B. So graph A has been reflected to give graph B. It has been reflected in the x-axis. So which means it's going to be y equals to negative g of x. Because now all of your y values are opposite. Whatever was positive is negative, and what's negative is now positive. Question 24, it says FP equals to A, ED equals to B, and CD equals to 2A. Point P such that CEP is a straight line. And CE equals to EP. So that means P is going to be over here. CE equals to EP. We have to show that CF is parallel to DP. That's CF, and that is parallel to DP. So what we need to do is we need to find CE. So we know that CD is 2A and DE is, and ED is B. So you can find CE. CE would be CD plus DE, which is going to be 2A minus B. That's 2A minus B. Since CE equals to EP, that means this is also going to be 2A minus P. Now we can find DP, which is going to be DE plus EP, and that's negative B plus 2A minus P, which is 2A minus 2B. Now to find CF, I'm going to do CE plus EF. CE is 2A minus B and EF is minus A. That's going to be A minus B. So if we compare DP and CF, DP is twice of CF. That's 2 times A minus B. So that shows that DP is parallel to CF because they have a multiplier of 2. Question 25 says the pyramid P is formed from 2 parts made of different materials. The top part has a mass of 92.8 grams and is made from the material with density 2.9 grams per centimeter cube. The bottom part of P has a mass of 972.8 grams and the average density of P is 4.7 grams per centimeter cube. Calculate the volume of the top part of P as a percentage of the total volume of P, giving your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So first, let's begin with finding the volume of the top part. Density equals to mass over volume. So volume would be mass over density. So mass for the top part is 92.8 over the density, which is 2.9. So that gives us 32 centimeter cube. Now, next, we know that the bottom part of P has a mass of 972.8 grams and the average density of P is 4.7 grams. So let's begin with finding the total mass of P. Total mass of P is going to be the sum of 92.8 and 972 and 972.8, and that's going to equal 1065.6 grams. Now, to find the total volume of the pyramid P, we will use the average density of P and the total mass of P. So volume of P is going to be 1065.6 divided by 4.7 to 26.72 centimeter cube. That is your volume of P. And our question is saying calculate the volume of the top part of P as a percentage of the total volume of P. So top part of V was 32. So that's going to be 32 divided by 226.72 times 100. And that's going to give us 14.1%. That is your percentage of the top part of P as a percentage of the total volume of